Hello everybody, it's TannerFishies here, back again with a new Ninjago video here on the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the last elemental power yet again, and what exactly that power could be, and how it may have actually been revealed due to a recent Ninjago Summer 2022 set list being officially released to the public. Now, the last elemental power is a concept in Ninjago that we've been hearing about for quite some time. Over the last several months, we have been non-stop theorizing as to what the last elemental power could be, and when it will potentially show up in the Ninjago series. And as I mentioned, the new Summer 2022 set list may in fact have revealed what that power will be. But first things first, before we get into that, I must give you guys a quick disclaimer. Nothing I say in this video is going to be 100% confirmed unless I say otherwise, so keep that in mind as we continue forward. The majority of this video will in fact be simple speculation and theorizing on the part of myself and several other Ninjago community members. So I hope that makes sense to you guys, and let's continue onwards. So the last elemental power has been a cat and mouse situation for the Ninjago community for a very long time. We've constantly been chasing leads, talking about what it could potentially be, and for the most part, we've been unsuccessful. At one point in Ninjago's history, the last elemental power was going to be a plot point for the year of 2021. Unfortunately, that never ended up seeing the light of day. Between the island and Seabound, there was nothing that suggested that the last elemental power even existed, let alone revealing what it even was. The Book of Elemental Powers was also supposed to reveal what exactly the last elemental power was. You know, being called the Book of Elemental Powers, you would think that out of everything in Ninjago 2021's lifespan, that would have to reveal it at some point, right? But no, that never revealed the last elemental power either. Thankfully for the year of 2022, it seems like maybe now, finally, we could potentially see the last elemental power in its full glory in the Ninjago series. And we just got ourselves a new list of Ninjago sets for the summer of 2022 that may have in fact revealed it, finally. Out of all of the sets for the summer of 2022, the one that stands out the most to me regarding the last elemental power is set number 71772, the Crystal King, which retails for $69.99. A pretty sizable set, I must say, for a single character, if the Crystal King is a single character. Could very well refer to a vehicle or something similar. But still, the Crystal King itself, let's just say for a second that that is going to be a character. And Crystal, I think Crystal has the potential to be the last elemental power for a couple of reasons. For one, we've talked about the power of Crystal before on this channel in a video that I made a long time ago, talking about scrapped concepts and scrapped plans for a Crystal Elemental Master to make an appearance in Season 4. Back in the Tournament of Elements, there was a massive amount of new characters introduced, each of which holding a specific elemental power that was never seen before in the world of Ninjago. It was just another piece of Ninjago's world building that was made apparent to us, finally. Other elemental masters besides the ninja existed. They had powers such as speed, smoke, metal, all kinds of different stuff that were all new to the audience and the ninja themselves. At one point in time though, Crystal was going to be a planned elemental power that would have made an appearance during the tournament. Out of all of the participants that were lured to Master Chen's island to partake in this tournament, the Master of Crystal was set to be one of those contestants. And this character, the Master of Crystal, would have fought against the ninja and probably other elemental masters as well. Unfortunately, the Master of Crystal and the power of Crystal itself was ultimately scrapped in early development of Season 4. That power and that character were just completely thrown away, never intended to appear in the Ninjago series after that moment. Up until now, maybe. It is kind of difficult to ignore the fact that at one point in time, Crystal was going to be an elemental power introduced into the world of Ninjago, and now suddenly we have a Crystal King. Could the Crystal elemental power that was scrapped be the power of the Crystal King? And in turn, because that is a new elemental power, would that be the last elemental power? Has the last elemental power finally been revealed? Well, not exactly. I mean, Crystal was confirmed to be a power at one point in Ninjago's early development, but ultimately that idea was scrapped. It's non-canon as of this moment in time. If the Crystal King does in fact have crystal-like powers, Ninjago could easily explain it away as just a simple power that the creature has. Not necessarily an element, but just a power. We've seen Ninjago villains hold powers before that are not technically classed as elements, so the Crystal King may still have crystal powers, but it doesn't have to be an elemental power. It could just be a standard normal power that the Crystal King just kind of possesses. Another reason why I think Crystal could in fact be the last elemental power is that Crystal itself is a pretty good idea in its own way. At least according to my opinion it is. Crystal seems like it could combine various aspects of other elemental powers. I'm thinking right now some type of combination between earth and metal. Maybe the Master of Crystal can coat his or her entire body in this crystal-like substance, while also being very similar to the earth element as well, well in terms of raw brute force and power. Maybe crystal is some type of reflective elemental power that could connect with different natural lights to create a blinding effect. Not necessarily saying that crystal is made up of different elements, I'm just saying the crystal element could look very similar to some things that we've seen before. I think it has a lot of potential to be an elemental power, but I'm not sure if it will be. Again, the Crystal King set could be anything right now. As of this moment in time, we just have set listings and not so much images or anything else like that, which means we are pretty limited in determining what exactly this set is going to be. And with a very high price point, is this a vehicle or some type of creature? I mean, to me, when I first read the set name Crystal King, I immediately thought of something that you might see from Power Miners, one of those old rock or crystal monsters that we might see from that theme. If you guys remember what Lego Power Miners was, maybe something similar to that. If that's the case, maybe Ninjago could tie in this large crystal creature to that of Wajira and her lore. Just kind of throwing out ideas here, but maybe Crystal would have followed a similar theme to that of water. As we saw during Seabound, water's lore and history was expanded on even further with the elemental master of Niad. The first Spinjitzu master did not directly control the power of water, and maybe Crystal is along those same lines. But instead of getting passed down genetically through various other elemental masters, Crystal just kind of stopped existing, maybe only existing within this one person, the Crystal King. If that's the case, I could totally see why this element would be considered the last elemental power. It's the last power that has yet to be transferred to a normal person. Maybe that's what the last elemental power means at the end of the day. If the Crystal King is in fact going to be a giant creature or a giant monster, again, that would be rather similar to that of Wajira, but maybe they could connect those two paths somehow. Maybe Ninjago could tie in the lore of the Crystal King to the lore of Wajira and the first Water Master. I think grounding ourselves a little bit more here, Crystal does have a lot of potential to be a very cool elemental power that we might see in Ninjago's future. Because Crystal was in fact supposed to be an elemental power at some point before it was ultimately scrapped and thrown away, maybe this could be the return of that scrapped element. Maybe Ninjago had the crystal element in the back pocket the entire time, just waiting to reveal it and actually present it to the Ninjago story. I for one think that Crystal has a lot of potential to be the last elemental power, and I've already given my reasons why I think that way in today's video. With a set called the Crystal King, I think it's at least worth considering as a potential possibility, if you will. So with that being said, you guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here today. Just going over a couple of quick ideas as to what the last elemental power could be and why it could potentially be the scrapped elemental power of Crystal. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Feel free to leave a comment down below talking about what exactly you think about the Crystal power. Do you think Crystal has the potential to be an elemental power in the future? Why or why not? Leave all your thoughts down below in the comments, you guys, and hopefully you enjoyed today's video. That'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here today. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and check out the links down below in the description for my other forms of social media. Thank you all so much for checking out today's video once again, you guys. My name is TannerFishies, and with that, I bid you farewell.